Hey guys, welcome to my new Let's Play of Pikmin. And as you can tell, I am playing the first Pikmin out of order. I honestly didn't expect to be doing it this soon. I was gonna wait another year, but guess what? Today, September 7th, this video is gonna go up in about 5 months. I wish I was even kidding at this point, but as of this morning, it was announced Pikmin 4 is in development, so I figured I should get my act together and play through all 3 Pikmin games before any more details are announced, or before the new game comes out. So, without further ado, Pikmin. So, this kind of, you could treat this as a prequel of sorts, I guess. Yeah, I played Pikmin 2 because a lot of people I follow were playing Pikmin 1 over the summer, so I was like, do I really want to play and compete with all these other people who have like 70 to 100,000 subscribers? No, not really. So I decided to wait on it. I was going to wait till next year actually, but with the announcement of Pikmin 4 this morning, I decided, why the heck not? But again, this video won't be going up until a really long time. It will be going up after, either during or after Super Mario Sunshine. I haven't decided how I'll work it because Super Mario Sunshine ended up being about 30 videos. That's technically my longest series so far. Wind Waker will probably pass it up once I start actually working on bonus material, but I have no clue when I'm actually going to have time to sit down and collect every heart piece, every treasure chart, and everything in Pikmin. And also I forgot to save anywhere in Ganon's tower, so I'd have to actually recollect the light errors and go through the 4 bosses all over again. So to actually get 100% completion, it could take a while. Anyway, my name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out and I woke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. Deep breath. My life support system can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no, better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. I've heard the saying best not to think about it, but never better not to think about it. So the camera is fixed at the lowest possible point. If you remember, we have 3 camera settings for Pikmin now. 2. And yeah, it feels weird actually doing it out of order. I probably should have, planned it out better, but oh well. Strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. So we have the impact site, which as I pointed out becomes the Wistful Wild in Pikmin 2, which is another weird thing about playing the games out of order. Of sequence breaking. Okay, so this is actually a short day. This is your tutorial day. Good piece of advice is to not actually collect any Pikmin until they are flowers, as before, Pikmin will slowly flower. Yeah, you don't want to actually collect them immediately, meaning you have a lot of time to just sit around on day 1. So be a long video, I know, but this is my method, but hey, I'll try to find things to talk about. Okay, this is actually kind of indented, if you can see, or is it? Or is it just a... I'm trying to figure out if this is actually an indent, or if it's just a texture. I think it might just be a texture that's made to look like an indent. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without the benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. The green button. One flashing. Another thing that actually occurred to me is, basically, as far as I know, there aren't exactly that many Let's Plays of the first Pikmin. There are a lot of Let's Plays of new Play Control Pikmin, but almost none of the GameCube version. And I have the original GameCube version. Like two that I know of, Chugga Conroy and Basanella, both used the new Play Control version and not the GameCube version. So, after watching the latter playthrough of the game, I thought, okay, am I just misremembering, or is this actually a thing? There's a couple things she did in her Let's Play that I do not remember being possible in the GameCube version, so part of this is also just me satisfying my own curiosity of, can it be done in the GameCube version? Or is it only in the Wii version? Because in the Wii version, you can move the cursor out a little farther, so I'm actually curious to see if certain tricks that these people have done work in this version. And yeah, those are two really good Let's Plays of Pikmin in different ways. Both are not exactly the most skillful playthroughs, I'll put it that way. Some derpy moments throughout. Again, no offense, I like both a lot. Those two in particular were actually two of the people who inspired me to actually start Let's Playing in the first place. And I know I've always talked about not liking to not promote, but just name drop other Let's Players, but at this point, I have nothing else to talk about. Okay, so, what could I talk about? So, let's see, there's, yeah, basically, like, I saw Miss Anella's playthrough of, Ocarina of Time not too long ago, and then I went back to watch her first LP, which was also the original Ocarina of Time, not Master Quest. And the difference is so amazing that I was like, hey, if it could work for her, it could work for me too, because I consider myself a very shy person and not very well spoken in real life, so I decided, based on her example, I thought, hey, why shouldn't I not try this myself? So, but yeah, that's a very short version of how I started Let's Playing, or what inspired me to Let's Play. Wow, yeah, these sprouts slower in the original than Pikmin 2, by the way, if you're thinking, dang, this is taking a long time. We have to do this 20 more times! Yeah, I'm expecting this to be a super long video, but hey, it's technically a pilot, it can be double length, right? Yeah, I'm literally expecting it to be half an hour. That gives me time to talk about some other stuff. Let's see, I like a lot of Let's Players, so it does feel a little intimidating to play a game like Pikmin, when like two of my favorite Let's Players have played this game already. One just last summer, as I said before, so that's a little bit intimidating. This one is a red leaf Pikmin, so I can't make the joke I was going to make on the subject, but, here I'm stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. So his first instinct to discover a new life form is to pick it up and throw it. Camera controls, we know what that is. The camera locks to the lowest possible position every time you pluck a Pikmin. That is the case until you get all three types of Pikmin, and is one of my least favorite things about this game. We know all this from Pikmin 2. Whoops. So we're gonna do kind of a, I don't know, atypical order, I guess you could say, with Pikmin 2, 1, 3. That's the engine over there pulsating. That's actually not a good word choice, that sounds kind of gross. But anyway, as I was saying, it is kind of intimidating that, like, a lot of my favorite games happen to also be a lot of my favorite Let's Players' favorite games too. So it's a little intimidating to see them also have played the games. Like Wind Waker, again, I already said Chuck Conroy and Miss Anella. I watched neither of their Wind Waker playthroughs on purpose because I did not want to feel like super, like, intimidated by playing it myself because, well, frankly, I figured they probably would have done a better job than I did, so I didn't actually even want to watch it. Again, even before Pikmin 2, I had seen Chugga Conroy's Let's Play of Pikmin 2. Hence why part of me was hyping up Submerged Castle, but it ended up being a super easy run for me just because of good RNG, and also knowing that the water wraith is a time thing and not a random occurrence also helped because I could use the timing on my capture device to see how long it's taking, and thus I wouldn't have to panic as much. So I'm trying to decide how to work this actually, because it's been 10 minutes. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, once those Pikmin flower, I'll grab these reds, and then get that red pellet, and then wait for that to flower, and then we'll meet back then. And we're back. Okay, so they're flowers now, so we can go ahead and get them out. So we can now, this box has a 10 on it, meaning we can push it with 10 Pikmin. Well, I'm talking more quietly now, according to the audio waveform. Okay, so I was actually editing Super Mario Sunshine actually, while waiting for Pikmin to flower, oddly enough. Yeah, multitasking. Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I could make use of their skills, perhaps I could fix my ship. Control summary. You don't need to look at that. Conveniently, the engine part lands right next to you, so you're not completely screwed. Amazing, there's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me. But how will I get back to the dolphin? This is talking about having hope, and now he's like, wait, all that hope is gone now. Never mind. So 1, 2, 3, swarm. We have a couple of Pikmin left, so toss him there. And thus he should, at the end of the day, end up with 25 Pikmin, which is 5 more than you actually need. This is actually one thing I do like about Pikmin 1 in comparison to 2, is they give you 5 extra Pikmin on the start of the day. For the start of the next day, I mean. And with that said, though, we should get into some stuff I don't like about Pikmin 1. First of all, throwing speed. You throw Pikmin slightly slower in this game, which does become a big deal later on. So swarming with the C-stick becomes a viable tactic. I think it's up and remote pointer in the new play control version, though. That's another thing I want to get into, that, you know, I'm just starting out. This is like, what, by, like, probably going to be like my 8th, actually, just because I've made so many series in advance, but I hope I'm getting better at this. Super Mario Bros. 3 was kinda rocky, I think, just commentary-wise, but I hope I'm getting better at this. I'm actually speaking up more, so that's a plus, I guess. Not whispering everything out. And okay, more complaints. Well, the lack of a second character, while I can't exactly say that's a big problem, I do think it is actually annoying because you can't multitask very well. Obviously, you can't multitask with one person or one hokotation. So yeah, that is a problem I do have, that you can't multitask as efficiently, I guess you could say. Let's see, what else? The Pikmin are a bit dumber in this game, too. The AI is slightly better in Pikmin 2, I think. Pikmin tend to get lost really easily in Pikmin 1. Like, they need a lot of direction. What else? The lack of an underground is both seen as a pro by some and a con by others. And yeah, I never noticed that this is just a ground texture and that this isn't actually indented. I never noticed that before. And the time limit, some people like, I've never had an issue with the time limit outside of like my first playthrough. Okay, doing math now, August 2002. 2002 is September 2015, so 13 years ago, so when I was 7. The only time I've actually had troubles with meeting the time limit in this game was when I was 7. And also, this is my second playthrough of the game in a year. I was planning to do the actual LP of this next year, but because of the announcement of Pikmin 4, I mean, I felt inspired to replay Pikmin 1 too, so, 1 2, that was confusing. Yeah, that's kinda cool. I never get tired of this game. I get tired of certain parts of this game, but never of the game as a whole. I do think it's a really good game. I personally prefer 2 just because the gameplay is better, even if it does have other issues. You know, the underground areas kind of feel like padding. There's less internal monologuing by Olimar, which is seen as a cool point in this game because it's actually, you know, good character development. Character development you generally don't see in a Nintendo game, to be completely honest. And my biggest issue with the game is it is actually really glitchy. Again, this was released in December 2001, so it is very buggy. No pun intended, because there are evil bugs, but for instance, the most famous glitch is the crashing glitch, which works in 2 different ways. The one way the crashing glitch can work is if an enemy body falls on a Pikmin, it will like shove them through the floor, and they will die. And there will be no Pikmin ghost, but your counter will go down. That is like the most famous glitch in the game because it happens to everyone basically, at least once. So that is why I do not plan this to be a deathless run. Just because of how many glitches there are. Part of me wants to have a no death, like a no ghost run, if we can. But it won't be deathless because the crushing glitch is so common. And the other way the crushing glitch can work is if a Pikmin is, like, you remember the bridges. If you build a bridge and there's a Pikmin under the bridge, sometimes they'll be killed by the bridge. As bizarre as that sounds, it actually can happen. Pikmin trip more in this game. That's another problem I have. So, this will not be deathless. Hopefully I won't actually see any Pikmin ghosts. I also plan for this to be a little more of a, you know, just, I don't know, leave everything where it drops kind of LP. That made no sense, but I'll explain. Like, in Pikmin 2, I made a point to make it deathless, which meant a lot of resets and stuff. I kind of just want to leave it, like, if bad stuff happens, I'll just keep going, unless it's like a Pikmin extinction. Then I would probably reset, but under normal circumstances, I think if I, like, don't lose, like, over 20, 30 Pikmin at one time, I think I'll just keep going, as much as I can. Oh glorious, with the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. What has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. Like in Pikmin 1, both Olimar and the Pikmin have to go into the lower atmosphere because of how dangerous it is on the surface of the planet. Oh yeah, and the ship is kind of a piece of junk. The dolphin was pawned off at the beginning of Pikmin 1, and actually Olimar never gets it back, because, spoilers, Olimar's in Pikmin 3. and they still have to ship for Pikmin 2. But I will not be saying any more than that, because if I do eventually play Pikmin 2, I don't want to say any more about it. I mean Pikmin 3. The Dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on the planet Hopitate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days, so 1 part per day is a good way to look at this game. But I do not recommend doing it that way. I will not be doing it that way. But you'll have to see how far we get tomorrow in Let's Play Pikmin. Next time, we head to the Forest of Hope. There are 8 ship parts. I almost said 7 because I can't count today. So we'll see how many we can knock out on day 2 of Pikmin. Pikmin? I don't know why I keep putting the accent in places, but anyway, see you guys next time.